All right. Hey, everybody, welcome in. We are going to be repairing an S controller today. Woo, S controller. Um, let's see here. Let's just get everything going. No signal. Why no signal? Ah, there we go. Yeah, of course there's no memory cards to the camera. Oh man, the camera got way out of position. Sorry, everybody. I gotta get a new stand for this camera. Anyways, here we go. Oh, announcements. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be back to playing Stardew Valley tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that for sure. Also, I apologize that we didn't have a video last week like I said we were going to have. Yeah, there was some mix-up with the scheduling. I'm so sorry. We are going to have a video this weekend, a new highlights video, which will be cool and awesome, thanks to our great editor, Pamda. All right, you know what? That's good enough for the camera. I know I'm just going to keep tweaking it until it looks bad. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. I'm Retro Switch. We're fixing stuff today. It's the repair stream. Yay! Yeah, we'll be finishing Mario 3 on Thursday. And next Saturday, we'll probably be doing another repair stream or playing a new game. I'm thinking Mario Brothers 2. Since we finished Mario Brothers 3, might as well work on Mario Brothers number 2. And maybe if that goes well, maybe we'll do Mario Brothers number 1. Who knows? Oh, yeah, another thing. If y'all remember this little lad, you guys said I should give him a name since he looks like a little dude, a small boy. And I came up with a name for him. We talked about it a little bit last stream, but since it has 4 appendages, I came up with the name Format. 4 mechanical articulating functions. Or, sorry, what was the T? Oh no, I forgot what the T was. 4 mechanical articulating. Oh no, I've completely forgotten, chat. Well, help me come up with a T. But I figure we'll call him Matt for short. So this is Matt. So we'll figure out the T later. Or I'll remember what I came up with. Put Matt away. Let's get to working on this NES controller. Now, if you remember, we were playing Super Mario Brothers 3, and the A button was not working. It gave out on me. This is the controller. As you can see, it's been well loved. It's a little yellowed in the corners and things, but for the most part, it's the color of the plastic's really good. It's definitely been, excuse me, well used, and that's okay. Hey, welcome in, Galaxy Bro. You did walk in on me having a dirt moment. That's absolutely true. 100% dirt moment. Verified. Let's see, what kind of screws do we need? Oh, they're just little cross screws. All right, let's get a number 1 cross. Or is that a 0? Yeah, it's a 0. Let's see, is 0 the right size? Yes, it is. Oh. Oh, wow, those are in there. This has never been opened before. Which I'm shocked. This is out of my personal collection. I thought I would have opened this before. Oh yeah, I can hear the plastic giving way. Oh, the inside of these screws are so grody. Let's see if I can get that on the camera. Oh, look how grody that is, chat. Definitely a well-loved controller. Oh, I hope there's not old spooters inside. That'd be gross. Oh, don't strip the screw. Uh-oh. Let's move up a size, get a better grip. There we go. Number 1 did better. Is that a number 1? Yeah, it's a size 1 cross. Okay. Ready to take that one out? Let's see. Which one's... Nope, these two. All right. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Are you having a good weekend? I hope so. My week's been a little tough, but I'm super happy to be playing with this and taking these things apart and sharing it with you wonderful people on the internet. All right. Hold that thought. We'll open it up here in a second. Just wanted to go turn my fan on. It's a little warm in here. All right, let's see what we have inside. Ooh, there's our shift register. There's all of our connections. Back looks good. Very clean on the inside. That's good. Let's untangle this wire. I love how much strain relief Nintendo put on this controller. Like, they did not want people wrecking these things. Oh, good luck with your excuse me. Good luck with your stacking, Wireball. Thanks for dropping by. Nope, no spooters. I don't see any spooters. Everything kind of looks really good. Like, it's all clean. There is a little bit, let's see if I can get this on camera. There is a little gunk around the A button. I guess it's kind of hard to see because of the green screen. Yeah, there's definitely some thumb gunk that's gotten down in there. So we'll give it a good cleaning. Let's look at our little pads here. Yeah, these silicone pads have been definitely well used. They're pretty worn. They might be giving out. We'll give them a clean, see if they work. There's a lot of dirt under here too. Like, it's hard to see on camera, but I can feel it. Okay, Wireball. Well, I hope the audio holds out for you and you enjoy listening in. Get the tongue scraper. Ew. Hey, yeah, our new emote. I love that little Game Boy. I'm glad I drew that. Yeah, I think this one you can kind of see the grime that's accumulated. It's not really dirt. It's more like dust that's kind of gotten to the controller over time. See if I can get it on camera. No, it's really hard to see with the lights. It's kind of blowing it out. I didn't bring any Q-tips over to my workbench. I'll have to go get some. Yeah, there's a little bit of gross in there. Some dust and a little dirt. Oh, actually. if you look here, chat, you can definitely see thumb goo has accumulated on the thumb button pad, or the thumb button, back of the button here. There's like brown gunk here. And so I bet that's where our... Oh yeah, that's a much better view. You can definitely see it on the side a lot better. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, it's real grungy. So we just need to clean all this stuff. That's all. Oh yeah, yeah. This needs a good cleaning. So let me run and grab some Q-tips or some cotton swabs. Oh, yeah. Look at the underside of the of the front face of the D-pad. It's not supposed to be that color, chat. Ew. All right, let's go grab a Q-tip, because I could do this with the... I do have the old toothbrush here, but let me get a Q-tip because it's going to be a little gentler. I'll probably use the toothbrush on this piece, but for these bits, well, not these bits. This stuff right here, I'll use the brush on, and this stuff I want to use with the Q-tips, just so it doesn't damage anything, because the toothbrush might be a little too abrasive. So let me go grab those. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, I'm back with a handful of cotton swabs. Should be more than enough. So I'll keep these over here on the desk. Get our isopropyl alcohol. Oops. Move those right there. I'll just start with cleaning these right here. These little silicone pads are what makes a connection. Oh yeah, look how much dirt came off on just a first pass. Like, how much dirt and grime. That's just a light touch. But yeah, so how these work, by the way, chat, in case you're wondering, is when you press, you can see those black pads made of silicone, or not silicone, silicate. They kind of similar to the stuff they put into pencils. Not silicon, silicate. What is it? Gosh darn it! It's not lead. I'm having a derp moment. If anyone in chat wants to correct me, please feel free. The membrane is made of silicone. This stuff. Graphite. Thank you, Wireball. Graphite. It's made of graphite. That's what these black pads are. They're made of graphite. And so what happens is when you press it down, that piece of graphite touches the connections and bridges them, which allows the electrical current to flow through the circuitry of the controller, registering that you press the button. But if they get dirty or worn down, they won't work very well. All right. And so we just come in and we clean them nice and clean. The D-pad was working pretty well, but you can see it had a lot of gross stuff on it too, so it probably was not long for this world as well. I don't know if it's dirt or grime, or if just the from all the friction of years of use, graphite dust collects around it. I really need to look into what causes the failure of these. There we go. That looks better. Do this. Clean this part. Because you got to imagine these things wear down over time. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually just the dust from the graphite that causes the issue with all this black dust. And finally, the start and select buttons. It's interesting to me that you can see the overspray, that it looks like they painted these buttons. They weren't done in a black silicone. They were kind of gray and then they painted them black. It's interesting. At least it looks that way. They might have used two different colors of silicone in the mold. Maybe it was initially run through with gray and then they did a second pour with black. I'm not really sure. I'd be very curious to know how they made these little membranes originally. Oh, my ears are ringing, chat. Yeah, I'm sorry if I keep coughing and clearing my throat. I picked up a cold or something on my travels. Nothing too serious. It just made me not feel my greatest this last week, but nothing too serious. Not like COVID or anything. Alright, on to the controller. Just scrub it dub. Be so much easier in a tub. Let's see. Squeak. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but when you clean these, they squeak. I like the squeaky noise. But yeah, you can see it's got gunk that's picking up. So yeah, we've definitely had a gunky controller. I bet these will work like brand new once I put them back together. Might not even need those membranes that I bought. They haven't arrived yet, or else I would go ahead and put them in just for... Woohoo! Yeah, this controller's gunky. Alright, now for the D-pad buttons. Squeak. So, anyone do anything fun this weekend? I know today's Saturday, so the weekend, it's only really just begun. But it's Saturday evening, so I assume anyone had any morning plans? Any fun morning stuff? All I did was go to brunch. I had a burrito. Which doesn't really come off as very brunchy, huh? More like a late breakfast. It was good though. It was like a hamburger and queso and bacon and hash browns all mixed together. It's really delicious. Okay. So that's looking good. Went ahead and scrubbed everything down. See a little gunk. tiny bit of gunk. That should be good. All right. Now that we're done with that, set this aside. No, let's just throw these in here so we don't lose them. And we'll move on to this. Clean the controller out. We'll get our toothbrush here wet with some isopropyl alcohol. By the way, in case you're wondering, 99% isopropyl alcohol, almost no water, because you don't want to put water in this in electronics. So I kind of would like to get 99.9% isopropyl alcohol, but that's a little overkill, I think. I think I really need it. That 1% water just it evaporates really quickly anyways. Never really had a problem. Okay, looks like to get down in there, we're gonna need to use a cotton swab. So do the rest of the surfaces first. Do the edges. Get those real good. Nice. Nice and clean. There we go. Rub those down. When we play Super Mario next, I'll go ahead and try this out first, even though I do have that new wireless controller from a company that has not sponsored me, so we're not going to say their name. Teehee. But it's a really good controller. I like that controller, so we're going to continue using it because I like it and it's nice and it's wireless. Wireless is such a huge convenience. The biggest advantage I think that new consoles have over retro consoles is not the graphics. Nay, it is the wireless capability. Every controller's wireless now, and it's such a, like, when you've gone back and started playing games on retro consoles where you have wired controllers, you really start to realize, like, oh, wireless is a big deal. Like, wireless is really huge, especially if you play on like a bigger TV. Even my CRT is pretty big, and as close as I sit to it, let's see if we can. No, we're not making a dent on any of those. That is well-earned battle scars. We're not going to be able to even get any dirt out of that. That's just the way the plastic looks now. I just like that permanently. That's okay. As long as it's functional, that's all right. Every one of these scratches came from some intense gaming session, I bet. They're all little memories of games past. Really nice that way when you think about it. Alright, let's get a cotton swab to get into these little cracks and crevices. Oh, that's some hard stuck on goo. That's not coming off at all. Give y'all a closer look. Hey, welcome in, Legendary Jelly. Aww. Glad that this can be helpful for you, Legendary. The jelly of legend. Oh God! Ow! 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 Ah! Stop it! Stop it! Ah! You little rascal. How am I? I'm good. I'm good. I was telling chat that I've got a little bit of a cough and a little bit of a sniffle from my travels, but no big deal. Nothing serious. Nothing to really worry about. goo is just not coming out. I think it just might be on there permanently. Might be a stain. Might be some long forgotten cola spill that has permanently like etched brown dye into the plastic. As long as it doesn't affect functionality, that's all right. But we gave it a good try, which I gotta say, doing a lot of this stuff, when you see I know there's certain companies out there that have been under the microscope last year or so who, you know, restore consoles, and then someone on YouTube buys them and it's like, oh, what is this? Look at this. It's all this grime. And it's like, yeah, some of them have definitely not been doing their due diligence and they deserve to be called out. But sometimes, like, I'm really going at this junk and I can't get this off. It just won't come off. Even with 99% isopropyl alcohol and a lot of scrubbing. Can you see, like, there's these little dark gunk spots here? They're just not coming out, so that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good, I've been told. Time to sand. Oh no. No, we don't need to sand the controller. It's fine. Just get this once over. All right, that's about, I think, as good as we're going to get that. Now let's worry about these buttons next. Time to sand. No, Jelly, no. All right, yeah, we're just going to give these buttons a nice, gentle scrubbing with our toothbrush. Try to get in those cracks. We really just want to make sure any gunk in there that could be causing any problems is going to get removed. This is all under the hood stuff, so it's not visual. I think we need another cotton swab. But yeah, we just want to make sure it doesn't affect performance. Especially this controller right here, which isn't going to be a showpiece. It's a little workhorse. Something that's just going to be used by me and anyone I, happens to play these consoles after me. This is just a nice way to have an authentic feel to the experience. But we'll try to make him look as nice as we can. Yeah, there we go. Most of this is coming off. Really gunky under there. Especially this D-pad. This D-pad had a lot of goo. Which makes sense. The place that you're going to get the most intrusion of gunk is probably going to be your D-pad. Because it has the most exposed surfaces. There's so much goo in there. Let me get this little spudger out. Use the spudger to get some of this off. Oh, even physically scraping at it with the spudger is not really working. Wow, this is really stuck on. Oh, got some of it off. There we go. See, the goo's kind of accumulating on the on the pad here. Oops. Zoomed in and then zoomed right back out. You guys a nice close look at the gunk. I'm trying to get off of here. Wet this all with the ice purple alcohol and then try to get at this with the spudger while it's wet with ice purple alcohol. The time and the patience and the money. The time and the patience is the biggest part, I think. Especially with cleaning stuff. Like, cleaning stuff is usually pretty inexpensive. Cotton swabs, ice purple alcohol, citrus-based cleaners, things like that. They aren't really super expensive. And you can also buy in bulk, which makes it even cheaper in the long run. But the time and patience, you can't buy time. You can't buy patience. You just have to develop those over your lifetime. And use the time that's been allocated to you wisely. Oh, we're getting real philosophical today on the stream, aren't we? Not intentionally. All right, I think that's about as good as we're going to get that one. Let's move on to the buttons. Oh, the tongue scraper. Now I remember what you were talking about. This thing, you call this the tongue scraper. Yeah, I don't think the tongue scraper is going to... Well, I say that. Oh, look at that. Should have listened to the suggestion the first time. Now, who's a goober? It's me. I'm the goober. Yeah, I think some of this is just stress fractures in the like micro fractures in the plastic from just years of use. Use this little part of the handle to help buff that up a bit. Yeah, it looks nice. You never thought about that? Oh, I'm glad to have brought that to your attention, Legendary Jelly. Yeah, I mean, it's like everything. Like, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day about balance. Because we were talking about sports like fencing and rock climbing and surfing and skateboarding and things. And whenever I tell people about those sports, people always think like, "Oh, I don't have any balance. You know, I'm not very coordinated. I'd never be good at those." And I mean, just my only thought is, well, no one's born with it. No one's born with balance, coordination. I mean, I take that back. Some people are naturally inclined to it, but it's something you have to develop over your life. You know, it may come easier for some people, but everyone can do it. No one has, I mean, outside of medical conditions with your inner ear, there's no reason not to be able to develop control of your body and balance with enough effort and time. It's like mathematics. People people like to say, look, oh, I'm not good at math. And again, outside of, any neurological conditions, it's all about practice and time and effort. Like a lot of things in life, just all about time, practice, and effort. Especially practice. Practice is a huge part. The more you do something, the better you get at it. It's like a video game. The more you play a video game, the better you get at it. It's just how our minds and our bodies work. Just have to put in the practice, and you'll be rewarded in the end. And we're human beings so bad at things that don't give instant gratification. The hardest things to do are things like learning a language. I was just talking to someone earlier about learning a language. Like, I'd really love to learn, I know some Russian, some Japanese, but I'd really love to be fluent in both of those languages. They're both beautiful cultures with a great amount of literature and art and things to appreciate. And it'd be great to be able to understand the things from the original context, because when you translate something, even the best translations lose a little something. By the way, we're just going to put this controller back together now. We've done our best to clean it. We'll just have to see how it works. But being able to experience those cultures firsthand and being able to immerse yourself in that is a totally different feeling than getting a translated version of that that's kind of been interpreted by another person already. I'm not saying that's not a valid way to experience those cultures either. I mean, that's how I've done it thus far. But it would be nice to be able to understand it firsthand. I also learned a little French and Spanish as well, but I'm a little bit better with my Spanish than I don't remember any French. Maybe if I can dedicate some time to learning Russian and Japanese, maybe then I can move on to French and Spanish. That'd be really neat, being able to speak that many languages. Because that'd be what? English, Russian, Japanese, Spanish, French, 5 languages total? That'd be super cool. I feel like being able to speak multiple languages is like a superpower. Because it does take so much time and effort and dedication to do well at those things. Oh, we should clean the screws up before we put this all back together. I think we talked about this before, but chat, what language would you learn if you could? If a genie popped out and gave you a wish and said you get one wish. There's a special genie. There's no tricks. Just instantly you can perfectly understand one language. What language would it be? You would love to speak Old Japanese. Oh, that's actually a really good one. Yeah, the ancient Japanese is a whole other thing. Like the language they spoke during, what was it, the Heikei period, I think, is when Old Japanese was, right? Or was it Heikei or Heian? I want to say Heikei. Someone correct me on that. I'm probably wrong. Probably German. They have a lot of decent engineers, and they're part of the EU. I can't disagree. German is another cool language. A lot of really cool, a lot of cool German stuff out there. Um, I I definitely think Leisure Hojin are very cute and funny, in like a cool way. Like their cultural costume, as it's called, in anthropology, is really interesting to me. By the way, I love that basically the cultural costume for the U.S. has become the cowboy. Even though that was such a very short period of time and a very isolated part of the country that participated in that, the fact that that's kind of become the de facto shorthand for an American character is a cowboy, I find very interesting. Yeehaw! Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. And I mean, it's a good part of the history to look at. Cowboys, I guess I kind of get it, because cowboy is kind of a very unique aesthetic that combines kind of Western garb, European garb, with Central and South American aesthetics, and kind of this very unique kind of aesthetic that's very, unique to that part of the world at that time period. I think that's also why I like the cultural costumes of things like Russians and Cossacks, because it's such an interesting blend of like Turkish and Indian and the steppe peoples, and European garb all mixed together in these interesting ways. What in tarnation? What in apple pie? What in the education? What in the confrontation? What in the taxation without representation? I should really make a redeem for doing funny accents. Reading something in a funny accent. That might be fun. How many channel points would that be? 1,000? 10,000? I don't know. 5,000? Depends. Maybe it's a single sentence of a max of like 20 words, and I'll be like 1,000 channel points. That'd be kind of fun. Oh, he does. Oh, nice. I feel so bad. I have all these friends that are streamers, and I never go watch their streams anymore because I'm preparing for my own streams or editing videos or working with people. Pretends like he edits videos. I don't edit videos. I again, that is a skill that you can acquire with time and effort, and it's a good skill to have. But I do not have it, and I don't have a lot of time to learn it. So, but I don't have much time. My life's been so busy, and I've been doing streaming now 3 times a week. So it's, I just can't. I feel so bad because I used to go to Argo stream all the time and lurk, and I'd pop in on Discord when they were doing the Jackbox games. I haven't been to a Jackbox stream in months. I feel bad. When's Argo's next Jackbox stream, y'all? Do you know? Maybe I'll make it a surprise appearance. See if I can make some time. Either die a viewer or live long enough to become the viewee. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, there it goes. I was like, why does this keep turning? Yeah, sorry if I lose the last bit of your post sometimes, y'all. Y'all. Now I'm talking like cowboy slang. The second Sunday every month is Jackbox. Oh, it's Sunday. Second Sunday, so that's... What would the next one be? Yeehaw, y'all. Oh, I dropped it. So when is the next second Sunday? What date is that? Maybe I can put it on the calendar and arrange something. Can't keep it going. Yeah, we're done with the controller. Oh, it actually feels better. The membranes are springier now. Oh, and they have a good snap to them. There's like a click, click, click. Good, not snap, click. Which there's no springs, but like you can feel like the springiness of that membrane. And it kind of snaps back when you let go. You can hear the plastic popping into place as it returns back to the neutral position. Yeah, it's nice. I think that's actually I think that may have cleaned everything up. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Hopefully that did it, and I can just hold on to those membranes if I get a hold of a NES controller that's really busted. And now my desk is covered in thumb goo. June 8th, did you lube it? No. Why would I lube it? I don't. Actually, I do have some silicone grease, but I wouldn't put it inside a controller. I don't think. I know there's some people that do that with keyboards and stuff, but it's not me. I actually have a couple mechanical keyboards that aren't lubed. They're just as they came, and I've never had a problem with it. I'm sure someone who's an expert, an aficionado, could tell me what I'm missing out on, but all right. Well, that only took about an hour, a little less, 45 minutes or so, 49 minutes, because it's 8:34 and we started at 7:45. So June 8th. I'm gonna see if I can show up, but don't tell Argo. I wanna be a surprise. Well, not really. Not much more we can do with this thing because we looked inside. It was all in one piece. I was really worried we'd get in there and be like a loose wire, something was broken or barely hanging on. But no, all the electrical bits looked perfect. It's just grimy and gross. So I cleaned it, and now we'll have to test it out next time we play. So what do we do now? Well, I know when I did my shopping adventure where I showed you guys what I bought, I had that Sega Genesis that was pretty grimy and gross. So let me go get that. We can work on that. Oh, before I do though, I got something super special in the mail today. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to show you all this. I think this is going to be a huge win for our stream. I think I might be like the first one who got one in the mail after they got restocked, because they only got restocked like, was it Saturday of last week? Chat, I present to you the RetroTink 4K. Look at this beautiful thing! Look at this beautiful thing! I'm so excited. I'm so excited! We just got a letter, but look at this. It's so beautiful. Look at I've never seen this part before. It's got this cool indented piece of plastic with their rabbit logo on it. Oh, and it's got an SD card that it came with, the RetroTink like label on it. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Got our S video, composite on the front. We've got more full component cable in the back. We got an audio in, VGA in. Oh, let's do it this way so you can read the labels yourselves. But yeah, look at this thing. It does optical audio in. I don't have any. Actually, wait, no. I think my PlayStation 2 has optical audio out, doesn't it? Yeah, I might be able. I might go get some Toslink cables and start. Oh, how long? What's the longest Toslink I could get? Because I'd have to run like 150 foot of fiber optic cable. Oh, not in the know what do. This is an upscaler. So what this does is it takes the input from, for us, we use as video, and it uses all this beautiful hardware here to upscale to something a modern display will see. So in this particular case, this goes up to 4K output, but it also has a lot of other cool features. So for example, the 320 by 200 output of the DOS computer that I use, I could send that to the VGA input here, and what it'll do is it'll do a lot of math and magic and make it a 4K signal coming out the other end. And it can do a lot of other cool stuff besides just that. It can do screen blanking, which is where every other frame it inserts just straight full black picture. Which, if you're, it's gonna help us with streaming, but if you're on like an OLED, it's gonna make the screen look so much nicer, and the brighter parts of the screen are gonna pop out more. And it's gonna also make the get rid of blur. So like motion blur. So if something's motion, the motion blur comes from the pixels like dimming. But if you put in like your things here and then totally black, and then the next frame you renders here, totally black, next frame renders here, the motion is going to look a lot smoother and you're not going to have as much motion blur. Kind of cool. And I think it's especially with OLED TVs that's like a bigger issue. I think some of the high refresh rate LCDs don't need the screen, the blanking. I think. Don't quote me on any of this, chat. I am absolutely 100% ready to be corrected on any of this information. But it also does a lot of really cool stuff where if you are on a 4K display, there's actually enough pixels in a 4K display to perfectly kind of reconstruct a CRT TV. Where if you're familiar with the way a CRT's built, so you've got like, I was hoping that would leave a mark. Hold on, chat. Our diagram from last time. Had to get a pen. A little piece of tape we had last time. Oh well. So it's a network of phosphors, and so you'll have like a phosphor, like a little group of 3 phosphors. Oh, that's not a great line. And then they'll be like, they'll be separated into groups, and they'll have like another 3 phosphors here, another 3 here, etc. Right? And there'll be different colors. I think it's red, green, yellow, blue. Shoot, what are the colors of a? I forget. Hold on. I left my phone over on the desk, so I had to grab it real quick. Colors in an LCD screen, or sorry, in a CRT screen. Oh, I was right the first time. It is RGB. And so what it does is the beams come from behind, and they come from behind, they hit the back of the phosphor sheet and activate these phosphors. Yeah, RGB. Yeah, you guys are right. And it'll depending on what's supposed to be in the section of the screen, it'll paint. You know, it'll be like really red, and then you know, there'll be a little green, and then no blue at all, and it'll be like super bright red. Well, what the RetroTink 4K does is instead of well, traditionally you would just process the whole image, and then you would replicate by like drawing bars across the screen and kind of drawing a picture on top of the picture to imitate the look. But what the RetroTink 4K does, as far as I'm aware, is it basically takes this grid and divides it into pixels, because there's enough pixels on a 4K display. And so instead of these little phosphors, it's all individual pixels. And so if the CRT would have lit this area up with like mostly red, a little bit of green, and no blue, what the thing will do is it'll be like all red, all red, all red, some green, no blue, just black. And it'll just use all those extra pixels on their 4K display to just simulate the way a CRT works. As far as I know, as far as I have heard and read, that's how that goes. So I'm really interested to try that out. I don't actually have a 4K display to test it with, though. Time to buy a 4K OLED, I guess. Anybody want to donate like a couple $1,000 to the channel? I'm kidding. Please don't do that. I will refund that immediately. But if Mike Chi of RetroTink's out there, hey, I'll take your money. Oh man, that would have been so cool if I could have got a sponsorship from RetroTink. Does this have a serial number? I don't see one on there. But this is a pretty expensive device and has a lot of cool stuff. Oh, yeah, apparently this you can load profiles for different configurations on, and then load them into the memory of the RetroTink. So you can go online, download someone else's settings, and put them into the device, which is super cool. Because I've spent with... Hold on a second. I want to show y'all the older brother of the 4K, the RetroTink 5X. This is what I've been using. This is what I've been using for the streams. Which this is probably going to be my living room box now. But you can see it's the same thing. It takes your input and then outputs it to a higher resolution using HDMI. But this only, I think, does 1080p. I can't remember if it outputs anything higher than that. But it does that old method where it can... The reason it's called 5X... let me get another piece of paper. I kind of want to explain that too. The way these line doublers work. Boop. So, let's say you've got a picture, right? And it's like little guys made out of little squares, right? We'll just do a little quick drawing. Right, and this is what you'd have on your display, right? This little square. Well, what a line doubler does is just takes this image and it doubles it and so if you took this and just blew it up, like, it would just be like, what? You know, it'd be huge and blocky. What a line doubler does is it just draws the same image, the same size, but with twice the number of pixels. I'm gonna use circles. It's going to go faster. You get the picture. And so what the 5X does, it does the same thing, but it does it with 5. So instead of, you know, so you got like a 1 pixel, and then you've got a line doubler, and then the 5X. So that's how it scales from your original image to the new image that you're outputting. Hexagons are bestigons? They are. Nice XKCD reference, by the way. And so, get a little closer. This is a original line doubler, line 5X, doubler 5X. And so, like, your cheap, a lot of cheap, like, upscalers that are like little USB things, they usually do this. The 5X does this. The RetroTink has a 2X device, which is really nice. Has a lot of other really cool features. But enough about all that. I gotta hook this back up before I forget, because I absolutely will. Which I just thought I might be retiring it. I might not even need to. Oh, actually, Hexagons or Bestigons isn't an XKCD reference. I'm silly. Thank you for the correction, Jelly. Yeah, it's CPG Gray. Or CGP Gray? Mr. Gray is Hexagons or Bestigons. I apologize for that little bit of misinformation. This is why you're the best, chat. You always correct me when I make silly mistakes. All right. Well, let me put this away as well. I've been keeping it in the protective plastic, like shipping container, just in case. Oh yeah, look, it came with like a cool controller and like a USB converter for, like, this is a super nice converter. Looks like it does USB-C as well. Look at that, USB-C, it's for the SD card. So it's a SD card reader. Like, isn't that neat? And you got like a micro SD reader on there, it's just a bonus. That was super cool. Really nice. Nice little add-on there that I thought I'd mention. Here's the power cable. I don't know how I feel about things being powered with a 5-volt USB, like everything being powered through USB now. I guess the thought is everyone has phone chargers now, so it's easy to power that stuff. Just everyone's been given like 100 chargers. Every time they get a new phone, they get a bunch of new chargers, so it's just, I guess, more convenient that way and causes less e-waste as well. So that, so in that regard, it's a good idea. But I don't know, I just don't want to keep a bunch of USB chargers around because I try not to collect a bunch of excess e-waste. That's a sick converter? Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go get the Sega Genesis. I'll be right back, chat. Back, chat. Here's our Model 2 Genesis I was talking about. So it says on the tag, defective. Internal pins are corroded and tarnished? Tarnishing? Can't really read the handwriting. Let's see. What kind of screws? Oh! 4 crosses to get it open. Excellent. We've already got those ready to go. Where'd I put it? Chad, did you see where I put my screwdriver? Well, that's embarrassing. Where did I leave my screwdriver? Found it. Let's go ahead and get this open. Take this off before we do that. There we go. Oh, they don't have the cover on this. That's lame. Oh, thank you for redeeming a stream title update. Back to the beginning, working on Genesis G2. All right, let's do it. Come on, let me copy the text there. Updated. Thank you, Jelly. Wireball says, I've heard that some Raspberry Pi computers experience stability issues on marginal USB phone chargers. If you have trouble with the RetroTink, that might be the culprit too. Good point. I actually have the RetroTink connected to the USB output of my computer. But that's something to keep in mind, because I bet it would if you had kind of a cheapo converter, AC to DC converter. That could definitely be an issue. Which I saw, what's that guy's name? Big Phil? Big Clive? Big Clive, I think. Yeah, Big Clive on YouTube. Does a lot of breakdowns and electronics repair stuff. And he's definitely taken apart some cheapo USB chargers, and just looking at what's inside those things, it's like, I won't even plug that thing into the wall, much less connect the device to it. Gotta be real careful of that stuff. A lot of products that are not made well, that can cause a lot of problems that you don't really think about. All right, let's open it up. Big reveal. What's inside? Oh yeah, Big Clive's amazing. Yeah, huge kudos to Big Clive, Wireball. I agree. All right. Okay. It's a lot cleaner than I was expecting. I don't see what they're talking about. Did I just get like a really cheap Sega Genesis? There's nothing actually wrong with it. Or did they think it was because it had some corrosion, and it turns out it's actually a way worse problem than they thought. Oh, are you talking about the video where he was reviewing a like camping lamp that was basically a death trap, because if you plugged anything into the USB port while it was plugged into the wall charging, it would like put mains voltage directly into that USB port? That was pretty scary. Yeah, all from cheap, faulty wiring and bad design. I actually learned a lot of stuff from Big Clive videos, so shout out to Big Clive if y'all haven't checked out his YouTube channel. It does good stuff. Although he's got a bit of a... He's gone on a bit of a couple tangents that irked me about like he's like a big ionized air guy, I guess. Like thinks ionized air is somehow like good for you. And that kind of... I'm like, well, that's too bad he has this weird belief, but it's fine. It's pretty harmless. I saw, what was Smarter Every Day? No. Who was it? They actually did like a whole video on the ionized air trend and debunked all of it. Was it Mark Rober? I want to say it was Mark Rober. Or was it the other guy whose final video just came out where he flew off attached to a helicopter? Oh, what was that guy's name? I loved his videos. I watched them every day. Or, sorry, not every day, every week. Like math guy who went on cool adventures to see cool stuff. Alright. Haha! Oh, I see goo. I see goo. Oh, it stinks. Oh, there's a bad smell coming out of it. I think someone spilled some food or something in here. I don't know, Legendary Jelly. I mean, it's a top loader with an open thing, like something spilled on it, maybe some liquid, some food that was liquid. So I can see gross around here too. So it probably came in like that. So let's take this card slot out. Oh, it's even the screw is kind of gunked. Oh, I can see like under the underside here, there's like hair and goo. So yeah, we're gonna take this whole board out eventually. How does this old tech compare to new tech? How does this old tech compare to new tech? In what way exactly? How does this... Oh, it doesn't come off. It's soldered to the board. Oh, that's right. This is a Model 2 Genesis. Yeah. Oh. Ugh. Bottom of the board's just... I can't tell if that's factory gunk. Like, leftover... what are they... the flux? That didn't clean very well? I don't know. I remember the inside of the last... Yeah, no. So, it's really impossible to see on camera, but right in this area here, there's pooling. Like there was a liquid that dried and evaporated, leaving gunk behind. Yeah, this has been water damage for sure. Oh yeah, especially like you can see it here. Actually, I think there's a little bit of mold growing on the board. Ew, I shouldn't do that. I chew on the on the caps of my pens. I shouldn't use them to touch gross gunk. Here, I'm gonna get that out of my way so I stop. But yeah, there's like some gunk here. I think it's some mold or dust that's like collected and stuck to the board. But yeah, Jelly, what do you mean? How does it compare to the new stuff? I'm very curious what you mean by that. Because really, a lot of this stuff is all the same, just capacitors, crystal chip, or crystal here for timing. The thing that's really changed a lot is these chips designs here. Because when they come out with new processors, what they really are doing is they're figuring out ways to take more of these component pieces and fit them into the same size chip. So, like, say a chip this size. Is the board layout kind of the same layout, and modernization is just better or has the base idea of boards changed? No, I think board layout design is pretty much the same, except like I was saying, there's a huge like before you had these chips, you used to have to build out all the circuitry by hand on a board. So what used to be an entire separate board is now a chip, right? And so what used to be different chips is now being consolidated into one chip. That's really what's changed. Also there's more transistors, so you can do more stuff. So, if you had like a little circuit that does math calculations, now you can fit 500,000 on it instead of like 10. For example. I'm not a big electronics, I don't know much about board design. I actually know some people that do analog computing and stuff. I should ask them how what about having more transistors makes processors and things faster. Oh, gross. Oh, look at that, chat. Look how much gunk is stuck on the side of this power switch. You see all the hair and goo? I think I just need to wash this whole board in the dishwasher. Just run this thing through the dishwasher. Oh, this thing's hideously gross. All right, so that's gonna need some TLC. Tom Scott, thank you. I want to say it was Mark Robert who did the debunking video about ionized air. Ow! Finger on the shielding. Yeah, there's some... Oh, there's dead bug. No spiders, though. Oh. I don't think that's factory, chat. You see that gunk right there? I don't think that's factory. I don't know if you can see that very well. So, yeah, we're gonna just need to... I mean, this is gonna be a big job. Well, let's get started on this when we get back from our break. Let's go ahead and take our break a little early today. Even though we started a little later. Let's take our break a little early. Let's see, what time? Well, actually... Why is the pre-roll still off? We've, Oh, no, the pre-roll's on. Never mind. Yeah, no, we've been going long enough. Yeah, let's take a break. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then when we come back, I'll go downstairs, get some paper towels. I'm glad we got a big honking handful of these. We're gonna need it. Yeah, we'll be back with some more gunky cleaning on today's stream. Today's stream, philosophy and gunk. The gunk of philosophy. Philosophy goo? Philosophy goo. That would be a cool name for a YouTube channel. Philosophy goo. Oh, look, you can even see the pins are bent on one of these controller ports. That's kind of not great. See how they're bent a little bit? Easy fix, but just something I noticed. This poor thing's been through heck. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I take it back. That might have been factory. Let's look at this. You can see there's this same red goo on the screws on here. So that may be some kind of resin they put on there to help hold the screws in place for critical components. But why would there be here on the back? There's nothing like there that would be being held in by that piece of glue. No, maybe it's just the whatever machine was putting the glue on these pieces just dripped some here when it was assembling. I wouldn't doubt it with a Model 2. Model 2 Genesis. I've ranted about this before, but like Sony, whenever they come out with a new version of like the PS1 or the PS2, it was usually a better version. Like it was lighter, faster, more efficient. You lost backwards compatibility when they went to the smaller, slimmer versions, but that was very clearly stated because they were trimming it down to make it smaller and lighter for people who just wanted a PS2 and didn't need to worry about PS1 games. Because if you remember, the PS2 just took the hardware of a PS1 and shoved it into the board layout. Actually, that's a great example of what we're talking about. So they took all the circuitry of the PS1, they shrank it down to a couple chips, and took the processor and plunked all that onto a PS2, onto a new motherboard with the PS2's emotion engine and everything, and then used that bit of hardware to run other things on the system. I think it controlled the memory card reader and the controllers and the USB ports and stuff and the network card, while the main emotion engine worked on all the other stuff for the PS2 games. And then when it detected you had a PS1 game in the system, it would tell it would just boot on a different BIOS that would run the PS1 off of that chip that was on the board. So cool stuff. Kind of related to what we're talking about. But anyways, when they made this Genesis Model 2, made it worse. The expansions don't work as well. I'm curious why this is all blacked out. This might not even work like if you hooked it up with a Sega CD. MD2 VA1. I could have swore this worked with a... maybe there's some kind of coating that when you plug it into something, it scrapes off. So it keeps the pins nice and protected while it's in, not being used for the accessories. But like from everything I've read, everyone's like, don't use the Model 2s, they're bad. Oh yeah, the PS2, the PS1, like all our PS1 games we play, I play on a PS2. I don't actually play them for you guys on a PS1. I have a PS1 that works. Actually, I have 3 PS1s that work. I think I'm up to 3 now. But I just use the PS2 because it's easier. So instead of having 2 systems hooked up, I could just have 1. Oh, but Sega downgraded the audio chip, the video chip. Look, this is the video chip here. I'm very familiar with it because this knockoff chip has less compatibility or less features on it than the original model had. And so if you want those features back, you gotta take this piece off and completely replace it with a different one. This is one I told you guys about where I took a video chip from, I think it was a Commodore 64. It was a Sony, which was one revision up from what Sega used in the original run of Sega's Sega Genesis, and soldered that on and made this really cool mod to get a Model 2 to have the S-video output and full RGB output, which this one is not capable of doing. Where's the sound chip? Because they also like cheaped out on the sound. Because like the original Sega Genesis had an amazing sound, like Yamaha sound chip, and like these have like some knockoff sound chip. I can't even tell which one it is. I think it's this one or this one. I think it's one of these two. So I think that's the main processor. I think that's some kind of coprocessor, and I think that's a memory module. What is this guy's power? Well, this is a little CPU of some kind, it says. I wonder what that guy is. I forget what all these components are. It's been a long time since I looked at a schematic for a Sega Genesis Model 2. But anyways, we'll clean this little guy up and we'll get him running, because even though it's doesn't have as good a sound, doesn't have as good a video output, it's still deserving to work and to be restored. And it looks like besides being really gross, it looks like in good condition. I don't see any destroyed components. All the caps look really good. None of them are bulging or leaking, which is a good sign. We just got some growtiness on it. And some... Oh, I think I see what they meant by the tarnish. Oh. Let's see if this will come up on camera. Yeah, can you see like those green spots on some of the connectors? Like over in here and here. Yeah, that's the corrosion they were talking about. That's probably why it won't read games. All right, we'll give this a nice cleaning. I'm gonna get some paper towels, like I said, and some cardboard, and we'll get some cardboard down in there with wrapped in some paper towels and soaked in isopropyl alcohol, and we'll scrub in there and try to knock that tarnish off, and then just give it a general cleaning. We'll do that when we get back. All right, everybody, thanks for stopping in, and I'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Toodaloo. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Oh, we got a raid while I was gone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, welcome in, raiders. I'm Retro Switch. I do retro stuff, including repairing this retro console, which is a very gross Sega Genesis Model 2. But yeah, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, Axa? Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I was off eating pizza. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow. What is that? Tebin? Zebin? Sebinbin? Help. Help. I don't know how to say that. And also, thank you for the follow, Faithwo. I really appreciate that. Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? How was your stream? What were you doing? Are you still here? I don't even know. Hello there, Candy Queen Charlotte. And the rest. I had it the second time. Okay. I'm so sorry. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Yeah, so sorry I was on break. I was eating. But yeah, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. What were y'all doing all over there? You played Wuthering Waves. What is Wuthering Waves? Please tell me. I wish to know. And while you tell me, I'm going to cover this in a little isopropyl alcohol and start scrubbing. Because this is a very dirty board. We opened up the Sega Genesis and it was filthy. Just covered in goo and grime. And there's like corrosion in there. So we're just going to give this whole thing an isopropyl alcohol bath. Brand new RPG, Gacha, that came out this week. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Gacha games aren't exactly my thing, but I really like the artwork that comes out of it. Really creative stuff. I hope it was a lot of fun. Did you guys like it? Was it fun? What were your thoughts? Tell me all about it. As I make the best content in the internet. Washing a circuit board with a toothbrush. Also, thank you for sticking around while I was on break there. Wait for me to come back. I appreciate that. I really do. I was joking with chat that I want to stick this thing in my dishwasher. But I wouldn't do that because this thing's too gross to go in a dishwasher, and I wouldn't want to wash dishes in it afterwards. It's covered in a lot of like goo, and it smelled bad when I opened it too. It's just like ew. Yeah, you know it, Jelly. It still needs some work, but you enjoyed it? Well, that's good. That was fun. Let's see, we gotta move. This is the spot where we notice some gunk, so we really want to focus our efforts onto this one. You would be surprised there. I said it right the second time. It was Axa? Or just Axe? I didn't say Axe. I didn't say Axe at all. Axa? Axa? Why am I so bad with names? Axa. Okay. Oh my god. I'm the worst. Ooh. Oh, animal hair. Gross. That's not supposed to be in there. Totally haven't done that to a console before. Accidentally, of course. So, putting electronics into a dishwasher is not the worst idea in the world because it's the water causing short circuits when the electronics is active that causes problems. There are a lot of people who repair like motherboards, like old motherboards and things, by running them through the dishwasher. And you got to make sure you give them plenty of time to dry out. And you may even want to give them a rinse with ice purple alcohol afterwards too, just to, make sure there's no like it's not going to work if you have really heavy water, because the minerals in the water could stick to the board and cause issues. Like I remember Linus Tech Tips did one where they tried to wash a motherboard in the dishwasher and it shorted out. And that's probably because they have hard water. Because they're filming it like an industrial site, so I doubt it had a water softener. But yeah, there's lots of people who wash motherboards in the dishwasher. But this one's just especially gross. Yeah, and I think it's cool too. But yeah, you want to make sure again, like you don't have hard water or anything, and you want to give it a good scrubbing, anyways, once it comes out, just to make sure again there's nothing like stuck on or any bit of like food goo. Like if your dishwasher has goo in the trap, that it doesn't get like splashed back up onto the board. So maybe clean your trap out first too. But, I'm take no responsibility if anyone sticks something in a dishwasher and breaks the dishwasher or the thing. This is just stuff that I've seen on the internet that I'm sharing with you. I've actually never personally done it either, so. But the theory is very sound. My God, there's so much gunk on this board. I'll move on to a paper towel. Back here. It's kind of getting shredded a little bit. Yeah, you can just see the gunk coming off on the paper towel. See how gross it looks. Yeah, this thing definitely got something spilled on it. Got all in the inside. Poor thing. Oh yeah, you can see remnants of a spill right there. A little goo in the tray. In the bottom of the system. So sad. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to fix it all up, make it nice again. Although what we were, for the Raiders, the Model 2 Sega Genesis is not the greatest. It's a lesser version of the Sega Genesis. It has worse sound chip, worse video output, which, I give Sega a lot of crap for that. But yeah, I think back in the day, most people didn't have really good audio. Like CRTs usually only had one speaker, and it really wasn't that good a speaker. So it wasn't like people were hooking up their Sega Genesis to their hi-fi systems. And the people who were probably bought one when they first came out. Not like today where like it's a lot more common for people to have high quality audio devices laying around. Or high quality audio output devices. Like any pair of headphones that you get, more or less with some exceptions, are pretty much on par with everything that was out in the 90s. So, Sega trying to save some money, I guess, kind of makes sense. Oh my God, this thing is so gross. Some stickiness right here. All right, scrub. Yeah, the most interesting content on Twitch. Scrub. All right, I think that's about as good as we're gonna get the board. as far as that part goes. We'll clean this in a second. But our main thing is we need to clean this card slot. It's full of, I'll show you guys who just came in. You can see there's some corrosion on the pins in these areas, some tarnish. So we got to get that off before it'll start playing games. That's really the most important part. But I noticed like there was goo on this chip here and some corrosion. Clearly someone got spilled on it. So to prevent any future damage, and also just to make it a little nicer, we decided to clean the whole thing up. Got some pieces of cardboard here. That's a little too thick. That's still thick. Let's see if we take half of it. Is that going to be the right width? Yeah. So we're going to take a little piece of scrap cardboard off some packaging. We're going to put some paper towel on it and some isopropyl alcohol and scrub it around on the inside and try to knock that tarnish off. Let's see. Get a nice edge here. And just a little bit of this. Both sides. Yep. Here we go. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful night tonight. Sounds like the stream went really well. Y'all played a new game that was fun, which is always really good to hear. Well, the rest of your weekend's been going well. All you fun, happy people that just came in. If you've been doing anything interesting or fun this weekend and you feel like sharing, go ahead and tell us in chat. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at all that green gross on the let me unfold it. Look at what we've already gotten off of that connector. See all that green goo? Yeah, this thing's gonna work much better when we're done. Yeah, we're not even done yet. All right, there we go. It's gonna be a happy little Sega Genesis when we're done. We'll add it to the collection. You know, I'm repairing all these systems. I gotta figure out something to do with them at some point. I'm just collecting a bunch. And it's nice, you know, to have a bunch of working systems on hand. In case one of them goes bad, I can just grab one off the shelf, but at some point it gets to be too much. We'll have to figure out something to do with these. Pair them, maybe sell them. That's looking better. All right, I think we got most of the gunk off the inside of the pins off. Do one more pass, just 3 passes is probably safe. Oh, maybe we can find a charity to donate them to, but even then that's kind of... Yeah, maybe sell them to help fund the channel, you know, the purchase of other... you know, because I usually get these broken ones for about 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks, depending. Some systems are more expensive. Like Game Boy Advance SPs are like, even broken, are like really expensive, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like PS1, PS2, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, they're usually pretty reasonable priced, broken. I'd like to give them to a charity, but I don't, you know, what charity is going to know how to like set these up, or like, you know, who's going to be giving these out to like people to use? Because I mean, to be fair, using original hardware is really difficult and usually takes a lot of like know-how and equipment. But yeah, collectors would probably get into it. Save them for the next generation to teach these kids these days what real games were. Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, maybe, but it'd have to be like a one where like the person running it really knew what they were doing. Because again, like, you know, you need something like a retro tank to get these things to work on a modern TV, or you have to go find a CRT, and you got to be able to repair your CRTs if they have a problem. It just seems like it's not gonna. Charity's probably not a good idea. All right, that's looking pretty clean now. We're still getting some goo, but that seems like it's from the insertion. So I think just make our little trash pile over here bigger. I think we can switch to the toothbrush and scrub the rest of it off the surface. I'm running out of isopropyl alcohol. I need to order more. I thought I had a second container around here somewhere. I don't see it anywhere. But yeah, the boys and girls piece of copper that was just hanging out in there. A little bit of wire clipping. Oh yeah, I can see that coming right off. I ripped one of my gloves. I need to go change it. I'll do that in just a second. Yeah, it looks like most of this is coming off, which is nice. I might have to set this up in the other room and see if it works. Give it a test, you know? I think the Sega Genesis is hooked up already. Actually, since we were playing Mario, I think the... I just need to move one S-video cable over, and I might be able to hook this up. Just want to make sure this is nice and clean, though. Still see some green in there. This might corrode more, which is unfortunate. If I don't get this really clean. Because green usually means some kind of like oxidation is taking place, which can lead to all kinds of problems. Not just it not working, but just it degrading, getting worse over time. It's looking pretty good. Let me give it one more pass with the cardboard. Do this one just clean, no isopropyl alcohol. Just insert it over and over again. All right. That looks good. We'll put this back together in a minute. Oh, it's still grody, but all the worst bits are gone, which is good. And we'll just... the rest of the pieces and just give them a once over with a paper towel. Like this shielding here. I was actually talking to someone about this shielding. It prevents this from affecting other electronics, but it also protects it from things like bit flips, which I think we've discussed on the channel before, with like old some Super Mario 64 records for speedruns. I think there was like a famous one that a bit flip caused something to happen in Tricky. What was it? Click Clock Tower, TikTok Tower. The one that we kind of struggle on a little bit. don't know, that was a lot of fun though. But I imagine this RF shielding helps reduce the amount of radiation hitting the system itself. Kind of acting like a little Faraday cage to keep that radiation out. Those cosmic rays we're constantly being bombarded with from outer space. That's just a guess. I don't know if that actually is true. I think it's true. All right. For some of these parts, it's mostly dust. Well, that one looks pretty good. It almost looks like it was 3D printed. You can see like little lines here. I wonder if it was the original model they used to make the injection molds from. It's probably milled. They probably milled the. So when you get these injection molds made, they cut them out with a mill. And I bet on this side, since it was the inside, they didn't finish it smooth, so you can see the mill lines. And of course, the outside is different. Oh, on about Clock Tower? That's one of my faves. Or Dreamcast? Clock Tower, the game. No, we're talking about Mario 64. There's a particular level where it's a big clock. And depending on when you enter the clock, different things happen. It's a pretty cool level. One of my favorites from that. Let's get this sticker off here. Yeah. Yeah, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. The name eludes me. It's like TikTok Clock or something. Something like that. Does anybody in chat know? So much gross around little edges here. TikTok Clock. Yeah, that was the name of it. But yeah, I think there was we talked about this when I was playing the game. There was a speed run that happened because like some solar radiation or something like affected the game part and like caused a glitch that allowed them to get the world record. Can't remember the story though. If anyone in chat remembers and wants to talk about it, go ahead and drop it in the chat if you want. I won't mind. I always like hearing chatters tell stories. I can read your words out loud. Everybody can hear it. In case anyone's audio only. Oh, it's so gross. It's gonna look so much nicer when I'm done. I really should get some like plastic polish. I think I have some either in my house somewhere or on an Amazon wish list. Let's see. That looks better. Push these buttons out so I can hit them with the toothbrush. Scrub, 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 scrub. Nice, clean Sega Genesis. No one wants to play an old, gross console. Well, I would. If it worked, I probably wouldn't mind. I mean, I would mind, but I wouldn't thumb my nose up at it. This thing's been beat up. You can tell like other stuff has been stacked on top of this poor little Sega Genesis. Because the whole surface of the top has got nicks and scratches and scuff marks. Well, that's looking better. We got all the crud out of most of the cracks. Oh, actually, could use this to our advantage. I thought about learning how to do speed runs. I think if I did, the first game I'd speedrun is the original Castlevania. Or Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. We played that on the stream and beat it. It's pretty fun. We tried to use some of the speedrun strats to help us get through it, because otherwise the game would have just taken forever. We actually never beat the original Castlevania because we ran out of time. We only had 3 hours for that stream, and we didn't get all the way through to... We got to Dracula. We couldn't down him because he's just a bunch of... just hooey-fooey patooey. A lot of RNG. Now, there's definitely strategies I could have employed to beat it better. But there is a lot of RNG on that fight with Dracula in the first Castlevania. And yeah, I agree. The Castlevania OST slaps. All the games have good soundtracks. I can't think of a single Castlevania game with a bad soundtrack. All right. Oh, look at all this gunk that's accumulated on my desk. It's just like covered in dust and sand and gross. I have to clean this whole area when I'm done. Has anyone been playing V Rising since it came out? They had a Castlevania update for V Rising, some Castlevania DLC where you can get some cool things from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Which, if you are a long time watcher of the channel, would know, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is my favorite game of all time. Absolute favorite, 110%. Most favorite game. So I was very excited when V Rising came out with that DLC. if I can admit something to you, chat, I bought it right away. I was like, sold. I'm such a, like, my weakness is Castlevania. I can't say no to Castlevania stuff. Like, if I heard tomorrow there was like a concert with they were playing all the Castlevania music, but I had to, like, drive like 3 hours to go watch it, I would. I probably would go if I could get the time. I cosplayed which you won't see the pictures of this. I apologize, but I did cosplay as not Simon, not Richter, not Christopher. Hey, welcome in, Nolan Void. Help me remember who was which Belmont? Because it's from Castlevania 2. Sorry, not was it Castlevania 2? Yeah, Castlevania 2. Was it Simon Belmont that you play as, or that you that was in the Castlevania show on Netflix? Trevor Belmont. I cosplayed as Trevor Belmont. I want to cosplay as Alucard one day, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Oh, my gloves are just coming apart. I'm finding bits of them in here. But yeah, welcome in, Nolan Void. I hope you're having a great evening and a wonderful weekend. All right, I think we've got the inside of this about as clean as we're gonna get it. And this bottom part here, not the most important bit. And the bottom looks pretty clean. A few little dog hairs on here, or cat hairs, whatever those were. All right. So let's reassemble this this machine. Or actually, before we reassemble, let's see if I can get this to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys on the console screen. So you're going to see me and Scuff. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Scuff, can you read back that poem you read out loud to me earlier today? So yeah, you'll see me and Scuff, and it'll be a blank screen, but we'll get, if it works.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. I'm a snarky bear, but I still love you.
Oh, it's so. I locked in and turned him on, and he had that poem ready for me, and I was like, "Oh, Scuff, you're the best." What a cute bear we have as a companion. But I'm gonna switch to the console screen, so you're just gonna see blue, and I will take the motherboard for the Genesis into the console room and hook it all up, and we'll see if it works. I'll be right back, chat. All right, chat, we got the console screen up. I'm going to go plug in the Sega Genesis. We got the RetroTink plugged in, which is why we see blue now. And we're going to see in the next few minutes if this board worked, if our cleaning did the trick. I'll be right back. Hey chat, I'm back. I don't know if this is going to work. I just remembered that the Model 2 has a different plug than the Model 1, which is what I have hooked up. I'm going to have to look through my cables to see if I have a Model 2 AV connector. We'll see. I'll be right back. Shoot, I think the Model 2 also has different power. Let me check. Oh, it doesn't say on the back. Oh, it must be on the plug itself. Well, hold on. We might not be able to test this tonight because we might not have the proper connections. Let me do a little looking on the internets. Let's see. Does the Sega Genesis... And if anyone knows, go ahead and say it in chat. Sega Genesis Model 2. Use the same power. No, not the game power. The same. The S is nowhere near the G. Power. No, not the same pet. Same power. Power cord. No, they use different size ports and the output in a different amount of voltage. However, the Genesis Model 2 adapter does work with the Game Gear, Nomad, and 32X. The Model 1 adapter worked with the Master System and both models of the Sega CD. Well, that means we're not gonna be able to test this. I'll have to order power cables and everything. Well, that's disappointing. Same pangolin. What is a pangolin, Wireball? While you tell us what a pangolin is, I'm gonna go reconnect our overhead camera. Alright, looks like we're back. It is a weird creature that looks reminiscent of an armadillo. Oh, neat. Sounds really adorable. And a little bit terrifying, if I'm being honest. Oh, it's an anteater covered in scales. Scale mail. Oh, neat. That's even a little more terrifying. Okay, well, since we can't test this, let's go ahead and put it back together all the way. And then I'll go ahead and order the power and AV connectors I need to make this work, and we'll do a test next time we get together. Or maybe I'll just test it on my own and post about it on Twitter. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. So that's the top one. No, this is the top one. This is the bottom. Okay, let's get the RF shield in first. Which way did this go? There we go. No? Yes. There we go. And then our motherboard. Nope, had it right the first time. Something's missing. Yeah. This is a very important piece of plastic. This is what gives the system rigidity when you push the cartridge down. Without that, it would bend the motherboard all the time and it would fail. So hey, good on Sega. That was a good idea to put that in. Little piece of plastic in there. They would have had a lot of systems that would work for several years probably without issue, but would not have had the longevity and survivability they do today. Not as many of them would be with us as they are. All right, that's in, nice and solid. Got to put these screws in. And we got to put this clip in. It goes there. Yep. And we'll get these two big screws here. Pangolins sound cute. If I'm ever at a zoo, because when I travel, I like to visit zoos. If I'm ever at a zoo and I see a pangolin, I'll take a picture. I'll post it on the Discord. I was at a zoo recently and saw a bunch of crocodilians, a bunch of alligators and crocodiles and the like. It's really cool. I like alligators. They're my one of my favorite animals, if not my favorite animal. It's like alligators, manatees, definitely top two. Possums and raccoons are probably the next, tied for third place. All right. Let's use our magnet to pick up our screws here. All right. Let's go ahead and get them connected. Oh yeah, Galaxy Sprout, all four? Very cool. I always find it funny how people are very scared of alligators. And alligators are very docile creatures. They're really not a threat to anyone except small dogs and children. But I have heard some unfortunate news that because a lot of people feed them, because they are so docile, that they're starting to try to get into boats of fishermen. Because they've started to associate boats with food. Like having food in them. And that's very dangerous for the people and the animals. Aw, you've had a baby possum in your garden? That's adorable. We get rabbits in my garden. And while I think rabbits are really adorable, they are not good for the garden. They need to stay out of the garden. You know, if they just visited the garden, they'd be fine. But no, they're there to eat the garden. Haha, they do have food. Dangerous food. Well, I mean, alligators, humans are pretty big. Like, it's hard for an alligator to eat a human. Unless they're like a really, really big alligator. You know, because alligators have to tear their food apart because they don't have, they can't just fit a whole, they're not like snakes, they can't fit like a whole animal in their mouth or their body. That's why they take them underwater and roll them around. It's to, you know, not break them up into smaller chunks that are edible. And it's a lot harder to do that with a really big animal. That's why they mostly eat like birds and fish, and well, not even really birds, mostly fish, and like small animals that get near the river, like small deer and stuff. Now crocodiles. Now crocodiles are a whole other animal. Crocodiles are just mean. They feel like they have an agenda. Like, just they are out to kill everything in their vicinity. They are just ornery critters. There's that cowboy slang creeping back in. Ornery. Oh, just a bit of rust. Brown anoles that are basically just big pigeons. That's interesting. I've never heard of that bird before. All right, I think that is all the inner parts back in place. One thing I will say about the Model 2 that I like more than the Model 1, this piece of plastic. Oh, which is broken on our Model 2. So yeah, one thing the Model 2 has better than the Model 1. This little piece of plastic takes the LED and displays it in the front. Which you'd think, like, yeah, why is that a big deal? Well, the Model 1 has wires coming up off of it and attaching to the LED that's glued in under here. So to take it apart, you have to, like, take the LED out of here or desolder it from the motherboard. It's really a pain in the butt working on Model 1s. You got to be careful about that when you take them apart. You don't, like, tear up anything. That's why when you take a piece of if you notice when I take things apart, I usually like lift them up slowly, and then I mostly like to do the big reveal, but also like lifting it up some lets me feel if there's anything under there that's gonna like catch, like a cable or something. But you never know with these old consoles. Maybe someone's installed the mod, and the mod chip is glued to the top of the case or something. You don't know. It's not, I don't know the history of this piece of machinery, so I can't make assumptions, else risk damaging things. I said I'd never heard of anoles. I've heard of a null and void. Our good buddy null and void, but I've never heard of an annul. Oh, lizard friends. Yay, lizard friends. I used to love catching lizards in the backyard when I was a small boy. And play with them. I remember kids would convince the little lizards to yeah, it's probably very bad for the animal, but we were kids, we didn't know better. But they would coax the animal into biting, and they would open their mouths, and then you'd put it on someone's earlobe, and they'd bite down on the person's earlobe, and then they'd have like 2 lizards hanging from their ears like earrings. Now that I think about it, it was probably very bad for the animal. We never did anything cruel to the animals or intentionally to harm them. I knew there were some kids who did do stuff like that, and that was always a bad sign. Those kids were usually turned out to be bullies later. Or had something traumatic happening to them. But what isn't tragic is look at this nice Sega Genesis we just cleaned up. So we've cleaned the tarnished pins. We don't have the stuff we need to open it up, or sorry, to get it booted up. So unfortunately, we can't really do a test run, which is super sad. Used to keep them as pets, and they would get cuddly. That's interesting. Little finger-sized lizards who hop around. Interesting. I think those are different than the lizards I knew growing up. They sound like different lizards because the ones that were in my area were green. And they were maybe about this big. But, that being said, chat, I think today was a productive day for repairs. Didn't really get any soldering. Didn't need our soldering iron today. So, sorry if that was disappointing to anybody. But we didn't find any electric problems. We didn't, and that's just how it goes. I've said this before, but not everything's about soldering irons. Sometimes it's just a little bit of cleaning. Bit of scrap cardboard and some paper towels and some cute cotton swabs. Maybe a little piece of plastic spudger and some time. And that's all what you need to get these old consoles working again. Which I hope this got this one working again. But yeah, we opened it up. We didn't see any electrical faults. We didn't see any blown out capacitors or leaky batteries or anything to replace. So yeah, it was mostly just cleaning. Or it was all just cleaning today. So that's how it goes. And that actually brings us to the end of the stream because it's 10:30. He actually did it, chat. We got a stream that didn't have any technical difficulties, and we ended on time. Hey, thank you for the stretch. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Oh, now I'm sleepy. That stretch made me sleepy. Oh, I can't stop yawning. Help! The yawns are taking over. Put our isopropyl alcohol away. And to the end screen, where we will give ourselves another scuff point. We're up to 8 scuff points. 8 scuff points. Scuff, can you believe it? We've went 8 streams without any technical issues. 8 streams in a row. Isn't that amazing? Oh, there's night animals.
That is quite impressive, Retro. I'm proud of you. Let's hope our luck continues. Keep up the good work, partner.
Aww. Oh, it's very sweet of you to say, Scuff. Thank you. You're a great partner too. I value your inclusion in the streams. And I value your inclusion in the streams, chat. Oh yeah, they're definitely different animals than Galley Sprout. If anal bites would be painful. Yeah, these lizards, they barely had any power in their jaws, and they didn't have any teeth. Just little ridges in their jaws. So they didn't hurt to bite you at all. Ugh. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Thanks again to Axa Bear for the raid. That was super kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you to Zeb. I'm going to say Zebin for the follow, and Faithwo as well. If that's not how you say your name, I really apologize. Please let me know. I'm always looking for corrections. Also, if you're new to the channel, I do repairs like this. I also play retro games, and every once in a while I play games with other VTubers. I decided this year, 2024, we were going to try to do one collab a week the entire year to make new friends and expand and have a good time playing some more modern games that were not perfect for the channel, but still kind of in the theming of, you know, either a game that's a low-budget indie game that's kind of got a retro style, or a game that's kind of fun to play with a bunch of different people, so we could talk about retro games, or games that are not super retro, but are like 10, 15 years old, that are, you know, can be played on a modern computer or over the internet. You know, so, but otherwise we're going to be playing Super Mario Brothers next Thursday, Stardew Valley with the Chaos Crew on Tuesday, and Saturday we're going to be playing another retro game, or if I have some hardware to work on to fix, or something that I want to work on, maybe mod something, we'll work on that Saturday. Otherwise it'll be more retro games on Saturday. And yeah, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a raids. Wait, raid. Let's raid. Raid. Who do we raid? Let's see, who are we following that we could raid? Because we're just chatting right now, so it's not going to recommend... Marble Kuru is streaming. We haven't raided them in a while. Oh, Taco! Let's raid Taco. We haven't raided Taco in forever. All right, y'all. Let's go raid Taco. I think that's gonna be fun. Why is Taco not on screen? Did Taco get a new model? Or are they hosting someone else? Wait, what's going on? Hold on. Let's go investigate. Shall we, chat? Is Tasty Taco hosting another channel tonight? Or did they just raid out and I wasn't paying attention? One second, chat. Yeah, I just jumped on the screen and unmuted it. Yeah, that's definitely Taco. So yeah, let's raid Taco. That'll be fun. I love Taco. Taco's a great human being. So everyone, give Taco lots of love and eggs. And I'll see y'all over there. I hope you all have a great night. And I'll see you next time. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. See you later. Ta-ta. Have a good night. Bye. Bye. Bye.